Hi, my name is Michelle, and I have the special privilege of sharing a part of my story with you. My hope is that you will be encouraged by the way God has used crisis pregnancy centers and people with a heart to love these women in my life's journey. As a junior in college, I found myself in a very difficult situation. I was pregnant, single, and struggling emotionally. Even though I inwardly was battling the shame of my life choices for a long time, now I would wear the shame for everyone to see. By God's grace and because of the healing path He wanted to put me on, I had the strength to stand up against the anger of the baby's father who pushed me toward aborting the baby. My journey of trust and dependence on my Heavenly Father, who alone knew my heart, would take me into some valleys of darkness, but along the way there are places of relief and rest. The first of those places of refuge was the Crisis Pregnancy Center in the town where I was living with my mom after leaving school to have the baby. I remember how nervous I was to meet the counselor, how I thought she would scold me and shame me, but I was met with compassion and a desire to bring God's redemption through my situation. Two women in particular not only provided emotional and spiritual counseling, but they invited me into their homes and into their lives. And because of their support, I had the courage to return to college, bringing my precious 2-month-old baby girl. Overwhelmed and scared don't even come close to describing the way I felt about navigating school and caring for a small baby. Being a single mom was really hard, but God faithfully provided the relief and help I needed, this time through a sweet friend. Some of you may know her. Some of you may have been blessed by her. Her name is Brenda Stilley. I met Brenda through a campus ministry before I got pregnant. I always was encouraged by her love for God and her desire that people would know Him. But what she volunteered to do for me was beyond what I thought any friend would ever do. And that was to move in with me and my young baby, to be our college roommate. What a light in the darkness for me. Brenda gave up more than I even realized to share the burden of such a hard life. And she didn't even have her own room. Because of Brenda's sacrifice, I experienced one of the best times of rescue from the Lord. But it gets better. Because of Brenda, I met my now husband, and my baby gained a true earthly father. You just don't know the ripple effect that helping someone in my situation can have. Crisis pregnancy centers and the people who work with women in crisis have the potential to really change the course of a woman's life. For me, it wasn't a one-time need. Before I got married, until my daughter was 2, I continued to be supported by them. After finishing college, I lived with 2 families in 2 different places who considered the care of single moms as a calling from God. They counseled me and gave me the invaluable experience of seeing what a godly family looked like. They made an investment in me that truly has an eternal payback. As I reflect back on my life, I see God's hand of rescue so clearly. My emotional and spiritual state before my, quote, unwanted pregnancy was leading me to tell myself that the darkness was too great to overcome and taking my life would fix it all. But in what we and our culture might consider a very unlikely way to bring wholeness and redemption, God gave me the gift of a baby and a community of people to triumph over my dark night of the soul. So you see, your support for women in crisis pregnancies is invaluable. My prayer is that God's Spirit will show you just how to be part of the life-changing work of the AAA Pregnancy Resource Center.